Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to AskDproS Vibes, where we bring, guys on the show, could be professionals, entrepreneurs, artists on the show, they come on the show and they share their journey and their story. And on this particular episode, I've got Oyinkansola here, popularly known as KKC. She's here to share her journey, her story, how she got into music, and guys, I must tell you, she's got an amazing voice. I heard her voice on Clubhouse, some new app. And she kind of like gave us, a bit of her blessings. And I was like, oh my God, I must interview this girl, Amazing girl. She plays the guitar as well, And on this show, we always start from the beginning, which means, telling us, how the journey started for you, and for you, how did this whole thing start for you?
Well, I've always loved music. I've always loved writing. It's something that has always been like a part of me. I've been writing since I was 7. I remember when I was in primary school, like my very first primary school, one of our teachers would get me and my sisters to do like mini cards for them on their birthdays, wedding anniversaries, and we just write like poems for them, and then they'll be happy. They'll give it to themselves or to their spouses or something. So something that I've been doing for a while, but at that time I didn't really think it was a big deal. To me, it was just normal. Then when I entered secondary school, I started writing like full time. Started writing songs. I wrote my first song at the age of 11. Remember, prior to that time, I'd been writing poems. I'd been experimenting with novels. My immediate younger sister and I, was like a competition in the house. Each time we see a brand new notebook, nothing inside, we'll be like, Ginger, time to write. So we'll start writing stories, and once we write like 3 pages or 4 pages, we'll exchange for the other person to read. So it was kind of like a motivation. Oh, if I write 5 pages, I'll get to read what my sister has written. So we're always doing that back to back. And so I wrote my first song when I was 11. I remember it was about one guy I was crushing on in JSS1. Then I remember we used to be friends, but then somewhere along the line, he just stopped talking to me. He became a big boy and all of that. So I just felt, this thing hurts me. So I sat down and I wrote a song. I can never forget that song. I love that song so much. I don't know if I showed it to anyone because I didn't really think anybody would be interested in reading my writings. So after that time, I started experimenting more with writing different kinds of songs about friendships, about heartbreaks, because for some reason I seem to be heartbroken a lot in JSS1. And I don't even know why. But I experimented with a lot of heartbreak songs, friendship songs, and I just used to write. So by the time I wrote my first song when I was 10. By the time I had turned like 11 and a half, 12, I had written 80 plus songs, like 80 something songs.
Wow.
And I was so excited. Yeah. I called my parents. I said, oh, Mom and Dad, I have something to show you. And they're like, oh, what's up? I said, oh, come on, sit down, dining. I carried my songbook in my hand. Like, I was feeling so proud of myself that, I'm going to show my parents what I've done. So I showed them the book. And the reaction that I got from them was not what I was expecting at all. I was really excited that, they'll be so happy that I've written 20 songs. And then I remember my mom looked at the book and was looking at my dad and they were both shaking their heads. And I was like, what's going on?
But did you think it was a case of, Nigerian parents, African parents, there's always this thing of, they want their kids to be like doctor, lawyer, engineer, banker and all that, Was it a case of, you show them that and they be like, God, this is not what I want this child to be. I want her to be a doctor, a lawyer or something.
And I think that at that point, they were not well informed enough to make or how will I put it? My parents are very unconventional. So at that point, they were still, they hadn't come to the terms with the fact that, creative or creativity is actually a thing. So when I showed them the songbook, they were like, what's the meaning of this? This is what you should be writing about. Why are you writing about love? What do you know about love? Like, they didn't believe that a child could experience such level of emotion. Because if you had seen the things I was writing at that age, yes, so you understand now, like, I was writing deep things, like someone that has seen and unseen, that has lived for such a long time. So they were like, how would this child be writing such? What does she know? So they seized my songbook. They were like, no, we can't give this back to you. Oh my God. I was heartbroken. I was like, what? I just told myself that, you know what, never again. But luckily for me, I'm a big fan of backups. I like having backups of everything. So my mom had given me her laptop, I think some weeks or some months before. So I had been putting some of the stuff onto the laptop.
Okay.
I just continued. And I had like little pieces of paper, because sometimes before I put it in my actual songbook, I write in a piece of paper, I write the date, the time, then I transfer the completed version of the song into the songbook. So I went and gathered all those pieces of paper together. I started recompiling my book bit by bit, because I searched the entire room, searched everywhere. I couldn't find the songbook.
So you never found your songbook?
No, of course I did.
Okay.
After a whole year, I went to my parents. I think I was cleaning their room, and then I just opened what's the thing called, like a drawer, and my songbook just popped out. I was like, so this is where this thing has been all along. I took my thing and I ran back to my room to hide it. So I continued my writing from there. So when I turned 13, I moved to Teen Church, and I think we're about to finish the service. So the pastor now said, "Oh, okay, based on the preaching we've had today, how do you praise God?" And I raised my hand to answer. I said, "Okay, tell us." I said, "Oh, I praise God by singing the songs that I write for Him." He said, "Oh, okay, sing one of the songs. Let's hear." And I just sang like a chorus from one of my songs, and people were just looking at me like, "Oh, I was wondering what's going on. What's the big deal?" After church, people came to me. They're like, "You can sing, but your voice is nice." I was like, "Thank you." I didn't even know that I could sing. I just knew that I could write. So I never even believed that singing was a thing that I had. So after church that day, on our way back home, my mom was the one driving. I think my dad had traveled then. So she just said, "Hey, Oyinko, Pastor told me today that you sang in church. Is that true?" I said, "Yeah, that I just sang it." So I said, "Okay, sing what you sang, let me hear." And I sang the chorus for her. And she parked the car, turned, she looked back, and was like, "Is this coming from you?" Immediately she called my dad, like, "Hey, GC, come and hear us. Oyinko, sing. And I sang for my dad too. My dad was like, "You know what? We're enrolling you in the next Gospel Got Talent competition."
Okay.
That was I think it was organized by Redeemed Church. So they enrolled myself and my sisters in that competition. My sister went for writing, I went for singing. I made it up to the semi-finals before I was cut off. And my dad said, "Don't worry, we're hitting the studio." Immediately after the competition, straight to the studio. And I said, "Bring your songbook."
So now they were interested in the songbook.
Yes, so they were interested in the songbook. My parents today are my biggest supporters. Like, I don't write a song without going into my parents first.
Wow, that's good.
Most of the times they help me edit. They help me say, "Okay, use this word instead of that word. Use this instead of that."
Wow.
So, I remember every day after school, my dad drive would come and pick me. I was in high school then. Yeah, you come and pick me. We'll go to the studio in Alago Major or Costing, one of those places. We'll go to the studio there. We'd record. Sometimes we'll be there till 10 p.m. We'll be getting back home around 11. I'll be so tired. The following day again, we move. I miss those days. It was so much fun.
But it's such a good, good thing and good feeling to hear that, your parents actually, they supported your passion. Because sometimes, I was born in Nigeria, I grew up in Nigeria, sometimes when you have certain passions, your parents or the people around you will say, what is that? What is that? What are you doing? They'll probably kind of like, put it aside, tell you, they will tell you that, can't you see so person? He's a doctor, he's a lawyer. Can't you go and be like them? Why are you singing? And that goes for tailoring as well. I know now there are a lot of like designer tailors in Nigeria, and I'm making a lot of money from that. I think back in the days, people they always like frown at those kind of passion or things to do, to say, But you knowing that, your parents supported you 100, did you ever think that, okay, I would go to school to study music?
No, music never crossed my mind to study in school. I've always loved sciences. Like, right from when I was young, the first thing that I always wanted to be was an astronaut. I was always saying, "Oh, I want to be an astronaut." So, during the cut off for petroleum and gas engineering, I was so devastated. I was like, "Oh God, what's happening?" Then I applied for a diploma in the same school to study petroleum and gas as well. And when the result came out, I was number 9 on the merit list. So I was like, oh, okay, cool, I'm good already. Then my dad came and told me that the supplementary list is out already. I was like, supplementary list for what? The first one that I wrote. I said, and what happened? He said, oh, your name is out on the list for geophysics. I said, geophysics? I've never even heard of that. What's that? He was like, go online and do some research, get familiar with the course and see if it's something that you would like to do instead of petroleum and gas engineering, because the geophysics was a 5-year program, like you enter direct, but the diploma was like win or lose. Fine, I got in the admission, but you still have to meet a cut-off to be able to be admitted fully into the uni. I went online, I did some research, I prayed. I just let me just go for the geophysics since it's a more direct thing. And that was how I went for geophysics. So I studied geophysics for 5 years in school, and I don't think I would have studied any other course apart from that. I enjoyed the course to an extent. It was cool. So music thing, people have asked me that a lot, that, oh, why didn't you read music in school? I mean, I like geophysics, so something that I always wanted to do, I guess.
Geophysics, music, you know. So how did you now kind of like, because obviously, you know, when we have such passion, you know, like you had passion for music, you have a passion for music, you know, you would think that you would just go for music instead of geophysics. So how did you actually make it through that course, studying geophysics and music? Was there a time you would probably take some time off and study your music, play your guitar, and write your songs as well?
Yes. For me, writing songs can come anytime. So whenever it comes to my head, I always have my phone or paper. I just write it down. But I had to juggle both, because there were times that I had to go for shows. Like I performed on campus a lot. I performed at all week, at events. I performed on my matriculation day in my first year of uni. Then I had other events that I had to go outside to perform for, and some of them may clash with school classes. I just had to sit down and say, okay, which one is more pressing at this time? But there was a time in my final year, I had a test by, I think, 3 to 5, and I had an event from 5 o'clock. So I went to my faculty. I think I'd been reading since the day before. So I wrote my test. I finished in time. Once I dropped a paper like this, I started running back to my hostel, change. There was no light. So I had to change my outfit and just hope that, it wasn't wrong. Pulled my order on my right. I went straight to, I think it was Nikeja. No, it was Ilukuju. Straight to Ilukuju for the event. And I came back to school later that night. So there were times that I had to juggle two of them at the same time. It wasn't 100% easy, but I mean, it was very, very rewarding. Because it was fun. It was doing something different from school 247, and then I think in my final year, my final year, I had this music band with you and meet up at night, every night from like 8 p.m. to 11. We'll just be jamming, be playing music at Love Garden. It was so much fun. I always created time for my music. Sometimes before bed, I'll just take my guitar, play a few, and
Nice. So I went to your YouTube page, you know, and I listened to this particular song, "Smiling at My Phone." You know, smiling at my phone. You know, what is the motivation behind the song?
It was, I think I wrote it in 2015 or 2012. I think it was 2012. I don't remember when. I went to a family club with my parents and my sister. So I just finished swimming. Then went to the basketball court, and my younger sister and I were just sitting down. There were some boys on the court. They were playing, and we're just looking, saying that we wish they were good, that they would allow us to play, because I used to play basketball when I was in secondary school. So I was like, I wish they would allow me to play. And I was just looking at one very tall boy, just playing. I was just like, this boy is very good. The next thing, he just walked up to me and was like, do you want to play? I was very surprised. I was like, wow, this is why I can't talk. This is why I can't talk to me. So I was like, yeah, I love to play. And then we played. After that, he now said, that we should get talking. So he gave me his number. And he was going back to school. I think he was in boarding school. said he was going back to school, but we could talk before he went. And I started texting. I was just, each time I see a message from him, I just smiling. I just like, this boy is making me feel, making me feel some type of way. So I just wrote the song. The song just came to my head. I was like, this is really making me smile on my phone. At the time when I wrote the song, I only had like the first verse and the chorus. I completed it after like 2 years when I met somebody else I liked. So it was like two different people came together to produce one song.
Wow, that's nice, man. Great. But now, busting into the Nigerian music scene, you know, I know that, you know, being an independent act in Nigeria, you probably don't really have that kind of backing when it comes to like promotion and all that, you know. How are you now promoting your songs, you know, and when did you really say to yourself, like, you know, this is it now, you know, I'm going to go into music full time?
Like you rightly said, being an independent artist in Nigeria is not easy at all. It takes a lot of strength because a lot of artists have the backing of their record label or their management, so they don't really bother about funding. But independent artists, you have to basically fund everything yourself. You have to look for shows for yourself. You have to buy your equipment. You have to sort out your logistics, every single thing. And a lot of people will not want to pay you what you are worth. You're not coming from a label or a management group. They're like, oh, this is an independent artist. Let's just give her thank you for coming and move on. So,
and when you say thank you for coming, how much is that?
It depends, but see, I have to tell myself that, you know what, I've done a fair share of free shows. If they cannot pay me, like now, I have to draft the rate card. This year, last year, because somebody showed me Pepe one day, and I was like, never again in my life. So if anybody cannot pay, no problem. Like people treat independent acts like, I don't want to go into details, but it can be really painful. They will not pay you, or they will not pay you what you're worth. Imagine somebody offering you 5,000 naira for a show. To do
wow.
what? To do what?
That's crazy,
someone
man.
called me one time. He wanted me to go and sing for his sister, very like around 5 p.m. in the morning. And I said, okay, how much do you want to pay? He said, I should pay. And you pay me 3,000 naira. I said, what? I said, sorry, I can't go. But people try to convince me that no, maybe it's just here. I'll even come and pick you. I said, no, I'm not doing it. So how do I promote myself? I basically rely on my WhatsApp, my social media, Instagram, Facebook, and I think I've done one sponsor ad on Instagram, but I will do more of that soon. You know, once I'm able to add a few things together. Yeah.
So like I understand, you also have a day job. You also have a 9 to 5, right?
I'm doing my youth service, so I'm working as in the digital marketing for insurance firm, especially 9 to 5, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. It's a lot of stress. It's a lot of work. I have to juggle so many things. My own businesses, my NGO, my music, my 9 to 5. Also, I think I have another job that I'm doing. It's not really a 9 to 5, but it's another job too. So it's a lot of work. Sometimes I ask myself, how do I have strength to put all these things together?
So do you now that you're working at that place, you know, with this firm, do you ever think that someday you will just drop the music, or you just carry on working? What is your take on that?
What? Drop the music? Nah. Nah. I'm not dropping music. Yeah, this music be die here. I'm not dropping the music. I say it a lot that I don't really think I feel like a lot of creatives are not structured for the 9 to 5 lifestyle. Most of us don't like to be put into a box. We like spontaneous. You know, as a creative now, when you have a lot of time on your hands, you can do multiple things at once. But 9 to 5, you cannot do anything until after 9 to 5. And by the time you're done, you're tired, you're stressed, you're thinking of how to get ready for the following day. So it kind of limits your creativity, kind of puts you into a tight corner. And if you ask a lot of creatives, so many people, I see them ranting on Twitter, especially those that have been this thing to the youth service. They're like, oh, they can't wait for youth service to be done. And they are imagining them going to work every day. So like, it's one of those things, really.
Yeah, but for you, yeah, in terms of following this music through now, do you think that whilst you are doing your NYC now, and the music is still there, do you think that it would be wise for you to probably hook yourself up to a management and have a deal, have a recording deal? I don't know how that will play out in Nigeria. I don't know how that goes, but do you think that before you finish your NYC, it is better to get a deal so that when you come out, you know that you're facing your music full time?
One mistake that I think a lot of artists make in Nigeria is they rush to sign deals. A lot of these deals are very binding. Most people are not even aware. They take ownership of your name. They literally own everything about you. And I don't want to be on a management group or a record label that would be that way to me. I want something that will still give me the opportunity to be able to express myself. So I'm not in a hurry to get signed because I don't want to get signed to something that will end up caging me. So whatever I'm going to or whoever I'm going to be signed under, I have to properly read terms and conditions and understand fully whatever they're bringing to the table. So they will not think that, oh, they're owning me or own rights to everything. No. So I want to take my time to probably find or look for a management company or a label that can provide me with what I need. Not just take from me and then leave me high and dry at the end of the day. That's why you see like a lot of artists, they come, they're like, oh, they're really good. And after like a year, you don't hear from them, what happened? And then you go back and it's the deals that they signed with these management companies. They didn't properly read the terms. I don't want to fall into that trap. I really want to take my time to make the best decision. So I'm not in a hurry to get signed.
So in a nutshell, it's better to be an independent act because you know that you are solely in control of yourself, right?
No. It's better to be an independent act until you're able to find the right management or record.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But some people are still fine with being independent. There's really nothing wrong with it. But I feel like you're starting out, you should have people that will support you until you get to that point where you say, okay, I'm ready to break free and do my own thing. But until you find a good management company, just stay focused.
Cool. And been in the music circle for a while now, in terms of, the female acts, or the male acts in Nigeria, what is your take on, how they see the female artists in Nigeria?
Ooh. Someone asked me something one day and said, oh, how does it feel being a female artist in Nigeria? I said, okay, let me ask you one question. If I ask you randomly, mention 5 performing artists in Nigeria, what would you start by saying? Probably say Davido, Wizkid, Kid Daniel, Olamide, Joe Boy. You'd have already gone through 5 names before you realize I didn't even mention a single female act, right? So that's really how it is. The music industry in Nigeria is highly dominated by men, and I don't know why, but it just feels like they don't give us females enough chances to prove ourselves. And the few ones that are making waves, you can only imagine what they are going through, honestly, because us that are underground, are still upcoming, we face a lot of things in the music industry. Those people that claim to want to help you, many of them have ulterior motives. Many of them will promise and fail, or people will tell you things like, your music is not for Nigeria. Go and do hip hop, gang music that we can dance. I'm just wondering that, what is it again? Like, we can't throw away our style of music just to fit into something else now. You get so it's not easy being a female act in Nigeria, honestly. It's really not, because most people will not take it seriously, or they'll just want to ride you. They don't want to.
So there's this thing of, they want you to do like secular songs, right? Like songs that everybody's listening to at that particular time.
Yes, people tell me that a lot. I think if you have fun now, give us jam, give us a producer something we can dance to. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try, but I already have my own style. I mean, nobody tells Taylor Swift go and do bing dance hall music. Everybody knows that this is her style of music. The same thing with Ariana. Nobody will tell her to go and do this or do that. She has her own style. But then I feel like those people have already put in the work, so they have gotten to that stage where they can do whatever it is they want to. So at some point, we might also just have to drop a few bangers so that they'll know that we're versatile.
Yeah, I think for me personally, I think you should stick to what you do, because if you stick to what you do and you're on your lane, on your part as well, as long as you work hard at it, and you get better, I believe you definitely have your breakthrough. You've released some songs already, so what is your best song so far out of the songs you've released now?
It has to be between Muse and Smiling at My Phone. I think I like the version of Muse when I perform it live, and I like Smiling at My Phone, the recorded version. So it's between those two. But I think definitely Smiling at My Phone. It has this calming effect.
Funny enough, I've listened to Smiling on My Phone. I probably listened to like 3 times. I like the rhythm. I like it. It's nice, man. It's nice, good. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So going back to the issues with the Nigerian music industry, what would be your suggestion? In terms of if it's artists that want to sign management or promotion, because I hear things like if you want to promote your song, you probably go to the radio station. They will tell you to bring hundreds of naira, to promote your song. What do you think, would be your suggestion in terms of, kind of like, creating a solution for that problem?
Do you mean from the artist's point of view? Like, am I advising an artist?
Yeah. So from the artist's point of view, yeah.
Okay. My advice to other artists would be, like I said earlier, don't rush to just sign any deal. Most people just want to blow by all means. It's understandable, but make sure that whatever you're signing does not have a long-term effect. Because a lot of companies will come to you, they'll say, oh, don't worry, we'll do this for you, we'll handle your promotion, we'll handle everything. And at the end of the day, you just realize that the deal wasn't even worth it. Just take your time. Like, be focused, continue to push your music, continue to use hashtags in your videos. Like when you post, tag people, send to your friends to repost, just little by little. Don't be in a hurry to just sign any deal in the name of you want promotions and all that. And try and explore with social media tools such as like normal, like the marketing tools. You can pay influencers to help promote your music, put your stuff up on social media platforms, do run like Instagram, Facebook ads, just little things that you can do within your income bracket, more or less.
So if I to ask you, which of the artists, there's so many artists in Nigeria, which artists do you think, can you say that, oh, I listen to this artist and, he or she motivates me, or I look up to this artist, in terms of my creativity as well, Which artist would you say, that is?
First of all, I have to say that I respect every artist in Nigeria. They are all doing big things. Anybody that's making waves today, they have paid a lot of price in the past, so it's not easy. So I respect all the artists. But if there's anybody I look up to in terms of creativity, I just basically say that I have my own style and everybody has their own style. So I may not really look up to anybody per se, but I respect all the artists and I like listening to Davido's music. I like doing covers of songs. I like Simi's music. I like the way he's soothing. I love Joe Boy. Oh my god, I like his style of music. So yeah, I really like those 3 artists. I think they're doing really well for themselves.
So have you ever done a cover for any of those artists?
Yeah, I've done a cover for all 3 of them actually. I come to think of it.
Okay.
I did Nobody. It's on my Instagram and YouTube. I did
yeah. That's true. I saw that clip on your Instagram.
Yeah, and I did Astra and it's on my Instagram as well. So.
Okay, cool, nice one. So if you were to grace us with your voice, sing something for us, would it be one of your old songs, or you have your guitar there to just give us some shakara to say.
Also, one of my new songs, not new songs, but one of the songs that's already out there. So, you can pick. I'll allow you to choose between Smiling on My Phone and Muse.
That's Smiling on My Phone, eh? I like the rhythm though. I like the I like the Smile on My Phone, But the Muse, although I've watched it, but I think which one do you think it's? I know they're your songs, you probably play anyone, but I think let's do Smiling on My Phone then.
Yeah.
Or I can be greedy and say, do Smile on My Phone. Then you just use music, shock and small.
Okay, that's fine. So I'll start with Smiling on My Phone.
Yeah.
Can you hear me very well?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
I made the resolve, not like any girl. To be you, so far it's worth time. 'Cause I've all the things that took away my crown. All the things I thought were buried underground. Then you came along, took one look at me. You said with you was where I want to be. It's not just your love, it's not just your thing. You changed me with your way. Oh, you got me smiling at my phone. With the things that you do and the things that you say. Oh, you got me smiling at my phone. With the things that you do and the things that you say. You're my muse, you're my feels, you're my dreams, you're my real. You're the ice to the side to the beat of my heart. You're my everything. You're my muse, you're my feels, you're my dreams, you're my real. You're the ice to the fire to the beat. You're my everything.
Wow, nice. Good.
Thank you.
Nice, man. I like it, man. You have such a wonderful voice, man. And I know that I know that you're gonna go far. I pray that
Amen.
there's something we also pray for as well, grace. They say, like, from my experience, when grace comes, you have to be ready. But for me now, I probably know you're ready already, because you can play your guitar, you can sing, you're ready. And when that grace comes, to say the Lord comes, you just grab it. You might just get an opportunity. Someone just said, there's someone that wants to listen to your song, and the guy will just, or he or she will just listen to it and said, I love what I'm listening to, I'm ready to do a deal with you, and that's how these things happen, and you're ready for it. Going to your guitar now, how did you learn how to play that?
I'm self-taught, actually.
Wow, self-taught.
I learn, I learn a lot on YouTube. I go online, try to score some songs. Yeah, self-taught.
Wow. So no, that's amazing, man. That's the passion right there. That's the passion right there. It's good, man. It's good what you're doing. So do you still go for like training, like your voice? I don't know how you artists do it. Do you go for voice training, things like that?
I've not had voice training. I started when I was in my second year in uni for like 2 weeks. I had a teacher that was coming to the house for like an hour every other day. But then we just stopped after a while. So I wouldn't really count that as training, because we didn't really go in depth. We didn't really do much. I mean, just 2 weeks. So But most of what I do with my voice, I learn on my own. I just try to experiment and see, okay, can I go? Before I couldn't sing high, and my voice was on a particular range. I couldn't even go high or go low. I was just there. And I told myself that I should be able to flex a little with this voice now. I'm trying to listen to Ariana Grande, Mariah, and trying to do like falsettos and
Wow.
whistling. I mean, from there you just get better. Try to sing like some people in their songs.
Wow, nice, 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 nice. It's good, man. It's great. It's great. Yeah, you're doing an amazing job. It's been a very good conversation so far. I wish this would never end, but obviously, everything that has a beginning must have an end.
Yes.
You know, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. So, what will be your last, take for, last word for upcoming acts as well, independent acts? Something that was just they'll say I listened to KKC and KKC said this, at least I'll hold this, it's kind of like an advice or, something to just, get them by.
Well, like I said before, I'm a big fan of backups. I believe in having backup plans because there's so many talented people out there in the world. And then sometimes we just have to face reality that things will not always work the way we want them to. We may not blow in the time that we want to, but pending that time, never stop working hard. Don't stop pushing yourself, putting yourself out there. I mean, I remember when Clubhouse first came, like I first heard of Clubhouse, I was so shy. I was like, I can't even speak on this platform. I'd rather enter the ground. And I remember I would have my mic muted. I'll just listen and be saying, nice, nice. Until one day somebody just said, oh, KKC, I can see you're holding a guitar in your picture. Sing for us now.
Wow.
I was like, I was like, hey, on this platform. And I just sang, and from there, it has just been like roller coaster of so many beautiful rides. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Many people struggle with finding acceptance. They think that, oh, if I sing, somebody may really like my voice. Just do it. I mean, believe in yourself. You're talented. You can basically do. Just keep working hard. And like I said before, have backup plans. If it's a business or something that you're doing on the side, just in case, like you never can tell. Just have something that will fetch you extra money in case the music isn't paying at the moment. Like, for example, I have 3 businesses that I run. I run my skincare brand, jewelry and catering service. Just something to fetch you a little extra on the side so that you can always take from here and pump into your music, to your promotion. You don't have to wait for somebody to help you with all of that.
Nice. And to add to that as well, I know that, sometimes when we have certain passion here, it's very hard to say, it's very hard to kind of like keep that passion going because you probably have the dilemma of, where do I get money to fuel this passion? Do you understand? Like what you were saying, have something on the side, to keep the passion burning. For example, I always use myself as an example, with all my interviews or all my podcasts. I said, I've got a 9 to 5, but I know that interviewing people or having a podcast, it's a passion. I've invested over like 2,000, 3,000 pounds in this, but I'm not getting any money from it, but it's still my passion. So what I did there was, I have a day job, which, helps me to take care of this passion, because if I just rely on this passion, I would just not die with that now.
I can imagine, yes. So there's sometimes when the music is not paying, but you still have to keep pushing. So where does the money come from? From your side hustle.
And from what you said right now, I can easily just, because I interviewed an artist in Nigeria as well. I think it was saying something about people are depressed. They kind of like thinking about, even like, why is this music not paying? Why do I not have a management here and things like that? But I think your approach, it's good. You have your music as your passion, but you should also do things aside so that you don't get, all worked up, all, like just all fed up with the whole system. I know the system back home is not that good, but having a thing on the side will actually help you to keep that passion going.
Definitely. I think you have little income from here, to be able to promote, put your stuff up online. It's very important. I can't stress it enough. This is very important. I think for sometimes if I didn't have my businesses, would I still be where I am? Like, I get support from my family, but not everything you want to them for. Some things you just have to take into account. Okay, fine, I'm doing this thing on my own. So having a side hustle or something that you're doing to generate income is definitely extremely important.
Yeah, nice one, man. It's been a nice show, man. And if guys want to hit you up, want to get in touch with you, where is the best place for them to get in touch with you?
Instagram. I'm extremely active on Instagram. And my Instagram has links to all my music, my Instagram bio. Well, actually, you can search for me on Apple Music, SoundCloud, Spotify, KKC. Just search, or you can search Smiling on my phone by KKC on Apple Music and the likes. It's me there. Then my Instagram is at OYINKANCHEKWAS. That's Oyinko Checkout. Or you could just type Oyinko and KKC to bring up my profile.
Yeah, nice one, man. Don't worry, guys. I'll also put a link, on how to get to her, on this video when it's released, our socials, Instagram, YouTube as well, And for you guys that want to get in touch with us, we're AskDproS, Media TV on YouTube. That's where I put all our content. Just go to YouTube, AskDproS, and we are there. It's been a nice one, nice conversation, and I'm also
Thank
grateful.
you. I had a great time.
And I'm also grateful for the time as well,
Thank you for the opportunity as well.
Nice.